real quick. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my TFT Patch Note 10.3 rundown. Getting this quickly out of the way, as I'm taking kind of a little bit of a break. I don't want to say break from TFT, but I'll be focusing a little bit on League of Legends for the month. This is going to be one of the, I guess I want to call them maintenance patches until the next set. From what I understand, all the major big stuff, it's done. Like you're not going to have any more new champions, no more new synergies. All that stuff is out of the picture. And they're just going to be trying to tighten the kind of balance of the champions on the current patch. The current meta on the patch right now is 1 to 2 people go 6 mages every lobby. 1 to 2 people go or 4 people go light every lobby, and then 1 to 2 people go rangers, and then there's like a Shadow Inferno player here and there. So that's like generally speaking like the high elo, like generally top tier comps. Most of those comps are very, very spatula heavy, and I heard that this patch in particular has a huge change when it comes to spatula. But anyways, let's start reading. Greetings, friends. Okay, they stopped calling us summoners and they stopped calling us tacticians, so now we're at friends. Greetings, friends. Welcome back for TFT Patch 10.3. Overall, this is a small patch. We're keeping up with our theme by 10.2 by generally buffing things that are weak rather than nerfing things that are strong. Cool. York is getting both buffs and nerfs to different parts of his kit, so be sure to check that out. I don't like the buffs part, okay? Last but not least, there's been a few gameplay and quality of life changes to carousel round, probably the most notable of which is the removal of spatulas from the carousel champions. Okay, let's keep going. Systems. Krugs is now guaranteed to have 2 drops instead of 1 minimum. Krugs is the first round. That's a good change. It means that you can't super low roll. Like the things that they've been adjusting recently are item variants. So like you are guaranteed at least 2 items, and then by after Krugs you're guaranteed 2 from the initial, 1 from the carousel, and 2 more after Krugs, which is interesting. It's good. I think it's like decreasing the variance, or having to be able to play around like I guess less variance in your item drops is helpful to be able to learn how to play the game, and it's just more enjoyable to play overall. Touching the edge of the arena carousel no longer puts you back to middle. Oh really? I kind of thought there's some skill with that, where if you can time it perfectly, you get that 0.25 second head start on your opponent. Spatulas no longer appear during carousel round. Plan accordingly. This is a huge fucking change. A lot of the top comps, and most problematic comps in the game have always revolved around spatula. And the thing about spatula is, I never really wanted them to remove spatula from the game. I do think, and I thought that's ever since alpha, that spatula should never have appeared on the first carousel, the one where you load into the game right before stages like 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3. I don't think those should ever have happened. And I'm also kind of open to removing spatula on the 2-3 carousel, the very first carousel after you kind of figure out the creep round, because I think that like having carousels that early, spatulas that early, kind of it makes it so spatula comps aren't like the high roll comps. They're just the most consistent comps you can play. And if you remember when I listed a lot of the comps that I talked about, where it's like you play 4 rangers, you play Shadow Inferno, you play 6 mages and 6 lights. The lights 6 mages is unplayable without Mage Malphite right now in the current meta, pretty much. And the lights is you really need the Azir or the Twitch as a light unit to be able to hardcore carry going into mid and late game, or else it's just not that good. So I would say that the fact that a bunch of the top comps require spatulas feels kind of awkward, and it's something that I feel like you should play around when you get it, as opposed to planning every game around the spatula. Adjusted the drop rate of contents in gold boxes: more gold, more spatulas, less champions. Okay. I don't know the effects of this, because I don't know what the original drop rate was to later. A new and unique sound while play when you pick up a champion from the carousel. No more guessing and squinting to find out if that pesky mole diver grabbed the Volibear or the recurve. Well, cool. Visual clarity, always a good thing. Items. Ionic Spark goes from 200 to 225. Kind of mediocre item. You only really run it on Skarner for predators. In combination of poison, seems kind of meh. Luden's echo damage goes from 175. They lowered the tier 3 Luden's cost, probably just to make 3-star predator Kog'Maw less crazy. Static Shiv goes to 85. Very minor. It doesn't seem like it matters that much. I'm surprised they're buffing this, because Rangers are very, very good right now, and I think they'll be better because you're not guaranteed spats anymore, right? So Rangers is one of the few top 4 comps that are playable without any spats. IE bonus damage goes down to 100%. I'm not surprised. IE is a really, really problematic champion, especially in combination with other crit items. And so the best item build being IE on Sivir, or IE Last Whisper on Twitch feels kind of weird. And ideally, maybe the value of crit shouldn't be that high, or the value of IE shouldn't be that high in those situations. So I saw this coming from a mile away. Good nerf. Trait Assassin crit bonus goes down at 6, up barely at 3. This really just nerfs 6 assassins a little bit. It's an okay comp. It's a comp that's not playable as well without assassin spat. Honestly, maybe you can play it still, but it's just really unlikely because hitting the Z is very difficult. But so yeah, that automatically got nerfed through the spatula, and I don't think 6 assassins that playable in the first place. The 3 assassin buff seems kind of whatever. Lunar ability power bonus per stack, kind of minor. Even though it's a 50% increase, I don't think I ever play Lunars with mages. I always play, it's because mages need Jewel Gauntlet to crit and get the real benefit of Lunar. The benefit of Lunar is that it gives you crit chance. That's the real key. So you combine Lunar with like Twitch, or Lunar with like Rangers to get a lot of like physical damage units to get a lot of value off of them. And you need Gauntlet to get value off AP. So I don't really find the AP bonus per stack to be that helpful, to be honest. Maybe it's a little bit better now. That's certainly a large increase, but I think that's going to be whatever. Shadow damage bonus goes down at 6, completely irrelevant. I don't remember the last time people went 6 shadows. And it's by a small enough amount where it's whatever. Like, if you get 6 shadows with Lux, you're going to force it anyways, going Shadow Infernos, and you're probably not playing it regardless otherwise, unless you have you rolled some very, very specific units. Light healing on death got reduced, and light attack speed bonus got reduced on all levels except for 3. 3 light being better makes the value of stuff like Yorick. Remember when Summoner Sins was really popular? It was the best comp in the game, where you ran Azir with Yorick and Annie, and then you ran Kha'Zix, Kiana, and Zed, and you stacked Zed with Light Spatula, and the composition had Nami, an Ocean like Nautilus, and then you ran Soraka, and with the combination of Soraka, Yorick, as well as Light Zed, you're able to get attacks. Like, Zed was able to go crazy with 3 light. Summoner Sin seems to be a little bit better just in general with the 3 assassin buff. The 3 light is better. I think the biggest problem with light trait in general is that since Yorick is such a pivotal part of the composition, the biggest problem is that Yorick gives a full healing. Yorick summons give full healing as well as full attack speed benefit. Yorick 2 in essence is 4 light champions on top of 1 unit. And I don't think it should be the case where that's the issue. I think if they just reduced the summon effectiveness of light synergy off the summons, Yorick would have been a much easier to balance champion. But I think he's been relatively hard to balance the entire set because of how the Yorick ghouls interact with everything else. Anyways, let's keep going. Champion balance. Cog 3, okay, goes to 500. I'm surprised they buffed Cog ulti. I guess Cog ulti is pretty mediocre without Seraphs or Ludens in the first place, so I can kind of see it. So it's less item dependent. Ornn debuff duration goes up to 10 seconds, and the amplification goes up, so you're able to crit a unit much quicker and it lasts much longer. Okay, Ornn, that's a decent buff. Maybe keeping Ornn around what might be not that bad. Vayne attack speed decreases. That's huge, especially when Azir 6 lights can't guarantee Azir or Twitch carry anymore. They have to use Vayne, and Vayne getting less attack speed matters. Base attack speed matters a lot. Braum spell damage prevention goes from 70, 85, 80 to 90 to 80, 85, 90. This is just a big buff too. Braum's only used in 4 glacial poison comps as well as ranger comps. I think it's a buff to ranger comps. You can use Braum in the mid game and replace him slowly at the very end game. I think that's nice. Jax got small buffs to his kit. I think Jax is already a good unit. Like, straight up, he's a mid game carry, fairly strong, especially if there's like stuff like rangers in the lobby. I don't mind him at all. Leblanc goes up a little bit of damage. Rek'Sai armor goes up. Yasuo, oh god, okay. I had really big problems with Yasuo. The fact that he has 100 mana, it's so hard for Yasuo to do anything at 100 mana, because you can't make Yasuo a carry. Like, one of the biggest problems in this set is you can't make multiple units carries in this set. And so, like, I'm hoping that, like, Like, I tried to stack Yasuo in 6 Assassin comps and realized that his starting mana wasn't high enough. Honestly, if they wanted to do something, like, just decreasing the amount of mana that he needs to be able to use an ulti is super, super nice. So, 15 extra mana. It's still going to be tough to get multiple rotations, but at least the first rotation will come out fairly guaranteed during the mid game. Nocturne 3 AD goes up to by 5. A little bit easier to stack. Still think it's kind of difficult to stack Nocturne right now. Mundo goes up to by 50 health. Seems kind of small. Annie's Tibbers. I don't necessarily know if Tibbers needed a buff. I've never really felt that Tibbers was that weak. Viable to like one of the best Infernal units, one of the best summon units, one of the best forecasts. I'm surprised that they ended up buffing her, and they nerfed her 1-star version, which is what you would be able to use. So I'm actually just kind of surprised to see her get buffed at 2-star. It's a nerf to 1-star though for sure. Janna's stun duration goes up. This is a bug fix. Every stun has to be like at least 1.5 seconds apparently, from what I was told. Cool. Lucian base shots go up by 2. I think it's weird that Lucian doesn't replace Vayne in compositions. So I like the idea that they're buffing Lucian. It might just be that like Lucian and Senna comps come back, because current 6 light comps use only Vayne. But I don't know if I like that. It seems like quite a large Lucian buff. So I'm surprised in that case. But yeah, I'm actually surprised I don't see Yorick nerf here at tier 4. But it looks like Lucian's going to be your go-to carry. You get 20% more shots on his ulti, and you get 0.1 more AD. The extra AD doesn't seem to matter that much, because you're going on hit stuff like Giant Slayer or Titanic on him anyways. But it's like nice, you know. Olaf ulti goes to 450% at 3-star. When hitting Olaf 3, I've never found that I needed the extra attack speed. I feel like Olaf 3 is already amazing. So sure, going to 450, great. It's going to be, like, it pretty much guarantees you top 2 in the first place. This probably guarantees top 1, I guess. I'm surprised. I thought Olaf 3 was pretty good in the first place. Oh, here's Yorick. Sorry, I didn't realize it, but over here. So Yorick health goes up. What a surprise. That's actually a huge, super surprise. Why did they made his mana go up by 10, and the ghoul health goes from down by 100. So, and he summons 3 ghouls, so you lose 300 health and 10 mana, but he gains health. All right, this is, what's the point of buffing his health? Like, it only matters to offset this, but the problem is right now, like, everyone just stacks. I don't think these nerfs are, I guess in combination with the Vayne nerf, as well as the light healing on death and attack speed nerf, overall, Light's got hit decently hard. But I am surprised to see that he got a health buff alongside these nerfs. I think the unit itself has always been problematic, and it's been problematic and hard to balance because of the ghoul full iteration thing. Whatever. I'm going to keep going. Master Yi attack speed goes up. I think Master Yi is really interesting. You want to stack Master Yi. I swear to God, he's a good unit, but it's so difficult to stack him, even when you find him. So I find giving him a little bit more buffs to be helpful. Zed's starting mana up is great. Pretty much guarantees that you're able to get at least 1 Shadow Clone during the fight. I like that a lot. Lux 1 gets nerfed a little bit. Lux 2 is fine. I think that's good. I think if you invest 21 mana into Lux 2, you deserve to have a strong carry. But right now, a lot of people are selling like their brands for Lux and putting items on her, and Lux is doing great. And I think that she shouldn't be that good at 1-star. Titan's Resolve is no longer multiplicative. Damn, I was never able to get that YouTube video. Inferno should no longer proc spell shields like Trap Claw. Thank God. If you Inferno crit with an auto attack, you proc Trap Claw is really annoying. Kagaba's Living Artillery no longer targets untargetable units. I'll believe it when I see it. Zyra plants are notorious for messing with the AI of the game. Leblanc and Yasuo can now deal spell damage properly. The champions of Quicksilver. Great. So now you can stack Yasuo, because if anyone had a Quicksilver in the game, Yasuo ulti would do 0 damage. Same with Leblanc. Karma can now target untargetables with her shield and link. Alright, cool. Good bug fixes all around. Overall, it's just refining, right? It's gonna make so overall 6 lights got nerfed. It looks like Rangers got buffed, and with the 6 light being nerfed, I mean 6 mages is weaker. So the one big winner about all this is the Shiv buff, the Braum buff. Rangers are gonna be really good. And usually what beats up Rangers is like stuff like Assassins. Like if you play against Rangers, you in the mid game you lose a lot to Assassins until you figure out your crystal. But I feel like it's difficult to even figure that out because 6 Assassins is not very strong because it's really difficult to get without an Assassin spat. And by the time you do get it, crystal is really relevant. So I think the big winners for this set are stuff like electric, like Z-oriented comps intended to get a lot of decent buffs for like 3 Assassins, for like electric. So like probably like Summoner Sins and Ranger comps are going to be better. And you'll see more of them. Alright. The spat nerf is definitely the huge thing. I don't even know if it's super good to remove spats or not. I do think though, if they want to test this is a great time to test it. Set 2 is pretty much, it's done, right? In 2 to 4 weeks, the PBE is going to have, or 2 to 4, 6 weeks, the PBE is going to have set 3. And everyone's going to forget about set 2. But if you want to run an experiment about when to remove spats and if you should remove spats, now is the time to do it.